Hello everyone, welcome to Tanaduk Garden at Pearland, France. So Tanaduk Garden is a botanic garden which is mentioned in the four medical tantras here. This is the most important medical textbook on Soaric power Tibetan medicine. And so in the first chapter talks about this Tanaduk Garden. And this Tanaduk Garden, actually it is the paradise, medicinal paradise of medicine Buddha. So this is the classical drawing, the Tanka. You see in the center there is a medicine Buddha, and then four corners there are four group of disciples. So they are receiving teachings from medicine Buddha. It doesn't matter you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist. So there are different groups representing, different ethics of group, ethnical groups. So and then so we try to realize this botanic garden in a real garden form. So here we have medicine Buddha, and in future there will be other images or statues of other disciples. And then the most interesting part is about this garden's solar energy and lunar energy. So we see that's the east part, sun is rising, and the east part is this garden. In the garden is this part, here, the eastern part. So this is called the forest of Arura, Merobalan forest there. In east we have the energy of the balance of solar and the lunar. Solar and the lunar balance the energy. So that's why the Merobalan is the most powerful healing plant. And then here in the south, in 2-3 hours the sun will be here in the south. So it's a very powerful, it has a very powerful solar energy, and all warming plants, they grow up this side, So in our garden we try to put pomegranate there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see like 4 pomegranates, and pomegranate is known as the king medicine for heating or warming up, because the pomegranate can collect lots of solar energy. So therefore it has lots of this heating or warming quality. And then of course also other special spices like ginger. It's hot, it has warming quality. And one thing everybody knows is chili. So also this direction, we call it the chilies are very spicy, of course, because of its special substances, but also because it can collect the solar energy or solar power. So that's why it's become very spicy. And then you go this way, so you can find the west direction. And in the west direction here we have junipers. We have junipers. Actually it's called again, kind of east is solar and lunar balanced, and also west is solar and lunar balanced. So it means the morning sun is more gentle and not that very hot and strong. Similar way, also the west sun is kind of gentle and mild, So then here, for example, we used to have here the saffron. The saffron grows here, and then this direction we have 6 good substances. 6 good substances like nutmeg, clove, also bamboo, and saffron, and then green cardamom, black cardamom, and so on. And plus, so we try to put some rocks there, the rock medicine or mineral medicines, 5 types of calcite and so on. And this area also known as the medicinal waters. So 5 types of hot spring and 5 types of regular spring. So hydrotherapy, water therapy here, this direction. And then we can go to this part, and this is the exact north, right? So I'm facing to the east, and then here is the south, my back is the west, and here is the north. And here we have this giant, beautiful camphor. So the camphor is growing very well here, you know. So this side is the cooling, the lunar energy. It's kind of almost exactly opposite the south, right? This is the north. So we have the camphor tree here, and actually it's very aromatic. If you smell, it's very powerful. Yeah, already it's very strong. But camphor tree can grow really, really huge and giant, you know. So we have like in the classical text says this area we're supposed to have the sandalwood, like a red sandalwood, white sandalwood. They are all cooling down plant, which means anti-inflammatory. And then we have camphor. So we have 3 types of camphor here. A little one there and here and the next one. And so it's known as the king of the cooling medicine. And then also the neem tree, you know. So both neem tree and the sandalwood is a little bit difficult to grow here, but we try to plant more camphor. So this area is kind of camphor zone, and that area will be the Merobalan zone, you know. So one of Merobalan, we have actually in the Merobalan 3 types, you know. Merobalan itself we call arura. There are 5 types of arura, and then there are other 2, kirura and barura. So we try to plant, you know, this side more, and one survived and one didn't survive. So in future there will be more this plant, and then that part more pomegranate. It's supposed to be a forest of, of pomegranate, or the zone of pomegranate. And actually chili is very easy to grow here, you know. So I think we have some chili plants here. So here is the garden part. You see the garlic is growing very well, and strawberry part is growing well. And then the salad part and the wild garlic and onion and the cider peas. So then here we can see the here we have more garlic, and then here we should have the arnica. So this little one is arnica, scuteria, and here is saffron. You see, our beautiful saffron is here. This is the this is the saffron. So very soon you will see the flower, and then in the flower you see the saffron strings. You have to collect. Yeah, we used to have in the garden there, but then I think it was eaten by the animals, and now we try to protect it too. Nursery room, keeping the seeds there, and little seeds, and then putting here and protected. And once the plants are strong enough, then we bring up there into the garden. And so this is actually pepper tree, you know. This giant one is a beautiful pepper tree. we have here Artemisia. That Artemisia is specially used for that Artemisia is specially used for moksha. Okay. So then also astrologically, so when we have the garden or land, it's known as this four, the land with 5 astrological elements. So in this case, the east is the wooden energy connected with spring, and south is the fire energy, fire element. So in the east we have wood element, south we have fire element, and in the west here we have the metal element. So that's why we try to have some metal arts there. And then in the north we have water element, but then in the 4 intermediate directions earth element. So that's called the 5 elements according to the 4 seasons, right? Spring is the wood, summer is the fire, and fall or autumn is the metal, and winter is the water. So then, welcome to our herbal garden here. So now we can read about the Tanaduk. 투지엔조의 던전 점된된 산전투의 인간조 등의 두숨나세 상지 만젤라 메드리아의 올라 착살로스. That's the prayer to Medicine Buddha. And then it starts to talk about the Tanaduk. So the Tanaduk, the palace in the middle, is made of 5 precious gemstones, like rubies, blue beryl, aquamarine, and diamond, all different. So the palace is built. In future we'll build the 5 gemstone palace for Medicine Buddha. And then in the center, the Medicine Buddha is sitting there. And the reason why it says this is a botanic garden, it's filled with herbs and also gemstones and minerals and so on. It says all those all these things exist in the nature. Is their materia medica, in the nature, and they have the potency of balancing like 3 humors: lung, chipa, becken, or combine the disorders or mix the disorders. It says pacifies 404 types of disease. Okay, so we have 101 karmic disease, and 101 is psychosomatic disease or illusion disease, and 101 is the the actual disease. All disease, they have their specific causes, mainly due to the diet and lifestyle. And then 100 disease which are related for the environment, environmental related disease. So it says if you come to in this garden, 404 types of disease will be pacified. And if someone suffers from the hot nature the disease, it means inflammatic disease, it will be cooled down. And if somebody has a cold nature the disease or metabolic issues, it will be warmed up. So that's the main theory of Soaric power Tibetan medicine. If our energy system or organism, the system is too cold, we have to warm it up. If it's too hot, and we have to cool it down. So that's why we call it the balancing between the solar energy and the lunar energy. And then in our life is not only we have the physical disease, so there are mental disturbances, and these disturbances are coming from all around us. So we call it the Gerik Tongtarjachu, means 80,000 of disturbances or obstacles. So all these things can be pacified too. And once you have entered in the botanic garden, it says whatever you wish, will be fulfilled, especially about your health and happiness and so on. And then, so in the text, we are starting about the south direction. In the south direction, so it has the solar power. And here this says energy similar to that of the sun, but it's the solar energy. All plants are collecting the solar energy. And so therefore that area is known as the area of the pomegranate and pepper. So we had this giant pepper, and then long pepper and chili and so on. So all those medicines pacify the cold nature, the disease, and they have a spicy and sour and salty taste, and the potency is hot and sharp. So then in Tibetan we'll call the Chenagtsang. Chenagtsang means medicine forest. It's supposed to be a giant forest. So, but in our garden we try to divide as different zones. The zone of solar energy, zone of lunar energy is north, and then zone of solar and the lunar balanced in the east and in the west. And then all those plants, their roots and the trunks and branches, leaves and flowers and the fruit, all of them are all of them have like a medicine purpose. So it's not like we like pomegranate, we just collect the fruit, and fruit itself is a medicine. So the leaves can be medicine, the flower can be medicine, and then the root of the plant can be a medicine. And then that's the first part. Second part is the Rokangjen, means the snow mountain. Snow mountain. It's almost same like a Monte Kailash, and so that's has a lunar energy, and there is growing there grows sandalwood, sandal tree, and then agarwood, and then camphor and the neem tree. So we have that camphor. Actually, camphor is growing very well. It's a very important medicine. Probably we'll plant more camphor that area. And those medicines are anti-inflammatory or reducing the heat, cooling down. So it has a bitter taste and sweet and astringent, and their potency is cooling and dull. The south part is sharp and the north is dull. South part is hot and the north is cold. They are two like opposite energies. Again, these trees, their roots and trunks and the branches and leaves and the flowers and the fruit, and all of them, can be medicine. And so then the medicine also, tree shimpa means very aromatic. So we talk also about, in Tibetan medicine, we talk about aromatherapy, and also just seeing the nice plants and trees and the flowers, and just seeing, from the colors and shapes, and also it has the healing energy, healing power. Menche Tichapanam says, so once the medicines are fully like grown up or developed, and then you feel the aroma of the plant. So sometimes you don't need to take them or this, you just go around the garden, and when you smell the aroma, so it's a kind of spontaneous aroma healing, automatic aroma healing. And then in the east of the Tanaduk Garden, we have Arura Natsal. So Arura is the Merobalan. And so here we have the Medicine Buddha, and the right hand of Medicine Buddha. Here it just looks like a flower, but he's holding the Arura plant, okay, Merobalan plant. And so the interesting thing is here it says the root of the Arura tree cures our bones disorders, and the trunk of the Arura cures the muscle disorders, and the branches of the Arura cures the the disorders of nervous system, tendons and ligaments and channels. And the bark of the arura cures the skin disease, and the leaves of arura cures the hollow organs issues. It means stomach, small intestine, large intestine, gallbladder, urinary bladder, uterus. So it cures the hollow organs. And then the flowers cures the disorders of sense organs, 5 sense organs. And the fruit cures the disorder of the solid organs, which means lungs, kidneys, heart, liver, spleen, and pancreas. And then in the top of the arura plants, so there are 5 types of aruras. And those 5 types of aruras, they have 6 tastes. So normally, if we eat like a lemon, it's a sour, right? Mainly one taste. Or if we eat banana is mainly sweet, but maybe sometimes little bit can be like a bitter too. You know, the fruits, they have 1 taste or 2 tastes, or maybe sometimes 3 tastes too. But arura actually has 6 different tastes, which means sweet, sour, salty, spicy, bitter, and astringent. 6 different tastes. And so of course the taste has its also healing property, because why our food or plants, they have different taste, and that's the combination of the element, what kind of element they have. And then it has 8 different potencies and 3 digestive post-digestion functions, and 17 qualities or 17 powers. And so normally when we talk about disorders according to Soharikpa or Tibetan medicine, we are talking about 3 kinds of humors: lung, chipa, beken. And then lung has 6 characteristics, and chipa has 7 characteristics, and beken has 7 characteristics. So together they have 20 characteristics. It means 20 different kind of energy presence in our body. So once this 20 different quality of the energy loses the balance, and then we get sick. That can be physically we get sick, or mentally we get sick, or energetically we get sick. And how to rebalance this 20 manifestation of the energy. So that we should bring like 20 antidotes. All are like opposite. For example, if the imbalance is hot, we have to cool it down. Imbalance is speedy, we have to slow it down. And imbalance is frozen, we have to warm it up or melt it. And if imbalance is rough, we have to make it smoother, right? Is it too smooth? We have, if it's too liquid, we may have to make it more solid. If it's too solid, we have to moisturize it. So these all opposite things. So we're supposed to, we should have 20 antidotes for 20 imbalances, but we have only 17 imbalances. And then there's some of these antidotes, they have double or triple functions. So that's why 17 qualities are expression. The complete antidote quality, they are able to balance the 20 characteristics of energies. Okay? And then in the west, so this part is the west, and this herbal yurt is in the west, and we are facing to the east. So in the legend, the Medicine Buddha's legend, it says Medicine Buddha's pure land. It's called the Tanaduk. So that's the spiritually. So it's interesting for Buddhist people. They believe in Medicine Buddha. Of course, Medicine Buddha, it's enlightened healing Buddha, but he's not exist in our planet, and he's a pure land. That pure land is called the Tanaduk. So that the direction of that pure land is supposed to be the east direction. All right. So that's why when we do the prayers and meditations, and we invite the medicine Buddha from the east, so therefore you see from the east directly, and our yurt is facing to there. And that's the spiritually. But then in the medical tradition, Tanaduk Garden is not just an invisible pure land, it is a botanical garden, so actually it's tangible, right? The spiritual one is intangible, invisible, but the medical one is tangible and physical. So therefore we try to build that medicine Buddha's botanic garden here. So then here in this west we have the 6 good substances, which I mentioned already. 6 good substances, it means very commonly used medicinal herbs or spices, like the nutmeg is good for heart, and clove is good for the aorta or the central channel, we call it. And then saffron is good for the liver, and cardamom, green cardamom is good for the kidneys, and black cardamom is good for the spleen, and then the bamboo piece is good for the lungs. So 6 good substances are growing on this west part. So very soon we will have images of 6 good substances in this area too. And then we have 5 types of calcites. In Tibetan medicine is not, we use only medicinal plants and herbs. We also use minerals. And they most commonly use the minerals like calcites. Calcite has many different colors. According to Tibetan medicine, there are 5 types of calcites. And then also mumio or shilajit, 5 types of shilajit. And then, as I mentioned already, the hydrotherapy is very important according to Soarikpa. So therefore we talk 5 types of medicinal springs and 5 types of hot spring, hot spring, hot bath, hot tub, steaming bath, and sauna. So all these things are perfect natural healing methods according to Tibetan medicine. Okay. All right. Then here it says all area in the Tanadu is filled with medicinal plants, and especially like saffron, saffron plant. We hope we will have a field of saffron, but here we have many little animals, gophers, squirrels, and they eat everything. So that's good too. It's a part of the nature and part of the balance. And then the Rocky Mountains has all types of salt medicines and mineral medicines. And then it says in this medicinal forest there are many birds, like peacock and parrots and this. But we have many other birds here. We have blue jay and quails and ravens, owls. We have to check how many birds around here. When we come here, Christiana was asking me how is the energy of this land. I said, listen to the birds. So that's the answer. When birds are here, it means it has a perfect energy. And wild animals actually, they have this instinctive knowledge about living environments and so on. So normally they know the best place, where to live, and even they know the best place where to die. So I told her, you see, hear the birds. And then actually we are told this place was a bird sanctuary, right? Kind of bird sanctuary. It means it's a sanctuary for health. So in the text says actually in the very balanced and very healthy medicinal forest should have many birds, in a simple word. So we have many birds here. And then also there are many very precious animals like elephant and bear and deer and so on. And those are also the part of the nature and part of the balance. So we don't have the elephants yet. Oh no, we have one Ganesh. We have the Ganesh statue, And we don't have the bear, but we have many Siberian friends, they are around the year. And then the deers, yeah, we have the local deers, and the deers are visiting us time to time, and you can see in that side of the hill. Yeah, actually, it's a very very beautiful place. So humans' good health and happiness is not only depending, on humans. On is not only depending on us individually, nor just depending on humans. So humans' good health and happiness is depending, you know, depending on the environment where we live, the nature. And so what nature offers, the plants and trees and flowers, and also the other living creatures, within us, gophers, squirrels, birds, deers, and bobcat, and mountain lions, and how do you call those dogs? Are not dingoes. They are coyotes. Yes, coyotes. So it's very wild here, and I think one of my concern about humans. There are so many humans are sick and so many humans are unhappy because we lost the connection to the nature, right? We lost connection to the nature. And the humans, we got lost in the big cities and we got lost in the concrete buildings. So that's why we should come back to the nature and live in the yurt or in the tent or teepee, whatever. Once you are in the yurt, you feel you're connected with the sky. Above is sky, and underneath is the earth, and surrounded by the trees and flowers and animals are your neighbors. And that's all what we need. That's it.